first of all, help us to understand what the law says about these petty offenses, and why do you want it to be changed now?
Right, thank you for having me. First of all, petty offenses, to be honest, in our laws, in Ghana's laws, we don't have any offenses called petty or minor offenses. What the name given to them in our laws is misdemeanors. Misdemeanors, normally when they happen, the punishment for them is from 0 to 3 years. So what are some of these offenses? We are talking about colonial offenses that were handed up down by the British. For example, hawking. For example, begging. For example, doing Okada business. Sanitation offenses, traffic offenses, drivers who park on the wrong side of the road. All these offenses are minor offenses. And what happens is that if a person is arrested for these offenses, they are taken to, by the police, they are taken to court, and they are normally fined. A fine of maybe 300 Ghana, 500 Ghana, 1,000 Ghana cedis. But because these people who commit these offenses are poor people, they can't pay. And because they cannot pay, the only option is for them to go to jail, to go to prison. And so what we have seen over the years is that a large number of people are in prison just because they are poor and they are vulnerable. If a family member of yours is fined for maybe 500 Ghana cedis, they can call upon you and you pay and they will be free. But many of these
Tony appears to be having some challenges with the connection there.
But offenders are the poor and marginalized who are fined the fine. And so if they are fined, they are unable to pay the fine, they end up in prison. And that is why our coalition is pursuing this agenda, this project, to ensure that petty offenses are decriminalized.
Now, Tony, what's the concern really of this coalition? Is it the case that you're concerned about the prisons being choked with persons who genuinely offend or fall foul of our laws? What's your concern really? Because it's the law, and I guess it must be applied, isn't it?
Very well. Yes, there is a prison overcrowding in Ghana currently. Our prisons are overcrowded by 52%. That is the level of overcrowding, and so many people in prison, they go in for these minor offenses. They come back and they go and mix up with hardened criminals, people who've committed serious offenses. So when they come back, what happens is that they've been trained to commit other offenses. And we are saying that some of these people, it's because of poverty. Majority of Ghanaians belong to the poor class. And so when somebody finds he or himself in this situation, there is no option for him than to go to jail. And so we are saying that as a democracy, the Constitution says that everybody is equal before the law, and so people's rights must be respected. We are not saying that people who commit minor offenses should be set free. No, we are saying there should be alternative means of punishment. For example, if somebody commits an offense, a driver parks at the wrong side of the road and is arrested, why don't you let him sweep? Why don't you let him weed? Why don't you let him to go and work on the state fund?
And just to take you on that, why not allow them to go through reformation, which is obviously a part of the reasons why the prison service was formed? We know that you're not necessarily going just to serve your jail term, but by the objectives of the prison service, you're supposed to be taken through retraining, reorientation, and then you could go through some formation. So are you questioning that process as well?
That is the ideal, but the reality on the ground is different. Our prisons, unfortunately, don't reform. You know, when prisoners are sent to prison, they are supposed to be classified.
And you have evidence to back what you're saying now? You have evidence to back what you're saying, Tony? Tony will definitely join us, reconnect with us and explain their position.